Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the season finale of the Road and Plate Stock Car Series, Season 2, live here on YouTube. It is our final race of the season, race 10 of 10. We have a full field tonight with 22 cars, it looks like. Actually, we got 25 cars. Got a couple of people hadn't shown up for a while. We're watching Chuck Labano do his qualifying laps here. He's going to put that 346. Trying to get a paint loaded here for Mr. J. Bast. Let's see if this shows up. Anyway, yeah, so Chuck's finishing up his qualifying lap. Aaron Smith, our winner from Road Atlanta, is currently on the pole. Jacob Bradley, Michael Gudger, who won at Daytona. Justin Wilson, who won at Atlanta. Chris Lucky, who's currently our points leader with 2 wins on the season at Donington Park and Mosport. Will Keck's out there doing his qualifying lap. Now you are going to notice a lot of the trucks look different tonight, and that's because we are running some special paint schemes. Everyone was told to pick their favorite band and make a paint scheme out of it. So, yeah, we'll do a little more showcase of the work that people have done later in the broadcast. But yeah, Phil running that high line. We'll go on board with him here for a second. Head down the back stretch. It's looks a lot faster outside the car than it does in. Out here. Oh, okay. So the top, obviously the top 10 are all really close. This is gonna be a fun little sprint race here coming up. All right, yeah, looks like they're all being sent to the grid. So let's take a look at our qualifying results. Aaron Smith on the pole. I don't think anything really much changed from we last saw. Tom Wendt there putting in a good lap in 11th. Dave Grajewski. Tyler Markle making his first start in the 42. Nick Seraph down there in 18th. We head down here. We got Jay Bast and Benson Weaver not setting a time. Let's see if we can get Jay Bast's paint scheme up. Yeah, it did work. Okay, here we go. So there is his paint. So if I can really zoom in and see what these guys, their paint schemes look like. Let's see here. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a far chase. We're gonna hack the game here a little bit, so I can see some of these guys' schemes. Let's do this here. Let's go down a little bit. There we go. You guys can actually see what these guys' paint schemes look like. There we go. So there's Jay Bast. Oh, I should hide all these results here. So yeah, Jay Bast there in the. Zoom out a little bit more. There we go. In the 53. So let's go through and see who anyone's got some special paint schemes. So Aaron Smith is running his default scheme. Jacob Bradley's got his default scheme. Michael Guzzer. Justin Wilson's running a pretty cool Days of Thunder throwback there. City Chevrolet Margaritaville. Big fan of Margaritaville. Chris Lucky, Seether is his paint scheme here. Mark Royce, whose idea this was to begin with, is running a sweet Iron Maiden paint scheme. So we can get a better view of that later. But yeah, his looks awesome tonight. Devin Jack's got Spirit Box. I've never heard of Spirit Box, but I'm sure they're awesome. Steve Loving's favorite is, of course, the New Kids on the Block. So that's what he's running. Evan Hubchak, another championship contender. I'm not sure if that's him or his son. We'll have to pull them in maybe in a little bit, but he's still in contention for points. Sean Johnson, not running the band scheme, but I told him to run this sweet Tide ride, so I'll just be cheering for him because I like that paint scheme. Dade's got the Napa number 6. Chuck's got his normal paint scheme. I thought he was going to have a van. Tom Wentz got Matchbox 20 with, I don't know who's on the hood there. Sam Stoner's got Invent Animate, another, assuming death rock band. I'll check with Sam here in a little bit. Tyler Markle is new to the series. We're glad to have him on board. We'll see what he can do. Dan Ott's got the Electric Callboy. Nice work, Dan. Looks awesome. Laura's got Lincoln Park. Big fan of Lincoln Park since the Hybrid Theory days. And Johnny Rapp's got Danny and the Juniors. And then Chris Winslow's got
green.
All right, so let's go back up front here. And see what our sprint race is all about. So 16 laps. Let's go back to our laps here. We have 16 laps to go for our sprint race. Aaron Smith in the lead, Michael Gudger, Chris Lucky, and so I got the bottom. Is that Mark Royce? Yeah. Oops. Let's try this again. There we go. So with this sprint race here, there's not really a lot of time to kind of hang back and think about what you want to do. These guys are all going for it. When I ran, I ended up winning the sprint race at Daytona, but it was due to some good luck and some good pushing, and it was the opposite of how I behaved in the feature, whereas I kind of took my time, waited for things to play out. This one, they're just going for it. So you can see they're already 3 wide at lap 1. Gudger's in the middle with Mark Royce. And Jacob Bradley there with Justin Wilson, his teammate on the outside. So things looking good right now for championship favorite Chris Lucky. We're going to hope that he does not get involved in an accident. Evan Hubchak there working that middle there with Mark Royce, trying to push Mr. Michael Gudger. Got a lot of talent deep in this field right now. That is Derek Piquet. So welcome back, Derek. A couple of races we've had him off. Aaron Smith continuing to lead. Actually, I think Jacob Bradley's technically in the lead. Back to our gap here. There we go. Michael Gudger will lead this lap. Michael Gudger showing his plate track muscle, plate track prowess here early in the sprint race here. Evan Hubchak there, looking at his championship rival, Chris Lucky. Trying to get as many points as they can. Try and get those results across this by the end of the race, but the gap was about 22 points coming in. Oh, contact there between Evan Hubchak and Aaron Smith. They are running nose to tail on the outside there. Go on board. He's trying to push Aaron Smith to the front. It's got to be very. Wow, looks like there was a little bit of contact, and Aaron Smith decides to go up high. Evan Hubchak's all alone in the middle, but he's got Robert Probst and Dave Grzewski right behind him. I think things are going to be looking pretty good for that 7 car coming around the next lap. Whoa, someone checks out. That is. I think that's Dan, but I can't tell. That is Steve. Steve's had enough. Steve Loving, who is... Whoa,
I hope that was yellow flag is out.
Well, how about that? We just got an accident.
It was only a matter of time.
It was not you.
Oh, apparently we still have our
He
chat
did try
line.
to follow you and bounced off the low line, though.
I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kill our voice chat here. Okay, so let's see what happened. There's Derek Piquet and Justin Wilson. Oh, looks like it might have happened further up than this. cannot see very well here at all. Oh dear. Who is involved in this? Let's go back a second. Someone's backwards. Wow. So it was Evan Hubchak got involved. I don't think we have a good camera angle, unfortunately, here in this portion of the racetrack. Oh, he got turned. Oops, here. So he looks like he got turned by Robert Probst. All right, so let's go to our chopper. Here we go. All right, so Aaron Smith goes down low. Oh, the 7 gets into the 64, and then he just gets a little loose. Gudger's really lucky there to save it, and then the 7 goes up into the 58. And then he gets collected by Laura Wiseman. And then the 58 takes out the 6. You can see the 6 and the 58 there crashing. And the 7 looks like he gets hit again there by Nick Seraph. Unfortunate. Then he takes out the 91. So just a tough break there for the 7. But I think most people will be able to continue. Take a look at that in real time. Yeah, he hits the 64, shoots up the racetrack, and collects a number of cars. All right, so let's go back up live, and we got Jacob Bradley lead. Gudger right behind. Race. We have 11 to go here in the sprint. So things looking good for Chris Lucky. Let's see if we can get on Evan Hubchak. Okay, so he is okay. Let's grab Evan for a interview there. Actually, we're gonna leave him alone. I'm not sure if it's Evan or his son. I'll be right back with you folks. Check on a couple of things, and we'll be back in a moment. I will leave the visuals up for everybody. Okay, so we did confirm that Evan's truck is being driven by his son Danny, so that is really cool. So the Hubchaks, if you guys are watching, Danny's doing a good job. Just got into the 64 there a little bit, but we're gonna let it go. His son is 10 years old, so his son is doing a great job, Danny. We're rooting for you and wish you the best of luck for the rest of the race. Alright, so this is, we're going to restart here with about 9 to go, and we're going to see if anyone's got anything for Bradley or Gudger. So we expect Justin Wilson there, who got tangled up in that incident there, we expect him to make some pretty quick progress up to the front. And then I expect Danny Hubchak to also move up pretty quickly. So yeah, I think we got everyone's paint scheme. So Derek running obviously a Spotify. Yeah, Phil Keck, I'm not sure which band that was. I think he did post about it in the Discord, which one was. Benson is running a Black Sabbath. Do we have Benson here? We do have Benson. There he is. Black Sabbath. Okay. 9 laps to go here at Talladega. Field comes down to the Geico restart zone, and Jacob Bradley is going to take off. Bradley gets ahead of Michael Gudger. Chris Lucky there. They all move to the... Oh, Chris Lucky goes for the move on the inside. He leaves Gudger out to dry. Gudger's got no help anywhere close behind him. He's going to fall back probably to 5th or 6th before the help arrives. Jay Bass leading that charge on the outside. He's got... I don't know who that is behind him. I think that's Dan Ott right behind him. So Aaron Smith decides that he wants to hang out back. Dave Grajewski looked like he had a little bit of damage there in the right front. Maybe from that prior accident. So yeah, Gudger finds himself down in 6th. He's got Chuck Labano though. Chuck Labano was the man who almost pipped. Oh, there goes Tom Wendt to catch him on the outside. Chuck Labano is the guy who the man who finished 2nd at Daytona, right behind Michael Gudger. So he's no stranger to the front of these quick races. Jay Bass, wow, him and Chuck get really loose there on the outside. I believe they are on comms together, so hopefully they are telling each other where they are. And yeah, already with 8 laps to go, they were 3 wide all the way back. We're gonna see if that outside line can make a move. They're gaining steam. They just, Gudger getting real close to the 346. Jacob Bradley continues to lead. Chris Lucky there on the outside. Things are tight here on the into turn 1. So the top 4 really kind of avoiding the 3 wide carnage. Aaron Smith is way back. I guess he lost the draft, and I don't know if that was intentional. Phil Keck is also in the back. So Phil Keck did not pit. Aaron Smith looks like he did pit. Let's go back up front here. I think this is our best camera view, this second TV cam. Yeah, so we're 3 wide again for the lead, and it looks like Tom Wendt's going to get the spot coming to the start-finish line. And he's got it. Tom Wendt leads. 6 to go at Talladega. Oh no, Chuck Labano gets turned by Mark Royce. And
Yellow flag.
Wow. Michael Gudger, Dan Ott, Sam Stoner was in it. I was hoping they would make it a little bit further, but man. Oh boy. So who survived that one? Looked like it started when Chuck Labano came down on Mark Royce. Let's see if we can go back a little bit here. Okay, this gives us a good look at things. All right, so what happens here? So Chuck's in the middle. Oh, he's not. Mark came up. So he came up, Chuck came down. That was enough to send the 346 spinning. And then Gudger and Dan Ott and all of them just get collected. Complete carnage here at Talladega. Sean Johnson was in it. Michael Gudger was in it. Danny Hubchak, sorry, was in it. Chris Winslow, Dave Grajewski, Nick Seraph. I don't know who's left. Well, whoever had their faster pair should still be in good shape. Let's go back live. So Tom Wendt leads with 5 to go. Jade Bass is in second. Robert Brofst is in third. Jacob Bradley. Number of guys diving for the pits here. Looks like who's entered the pits? Justin Wilson. Sorry, Sam Stoner, Devin Jack. There it is. So he enters the pits. Sam Stoner's in the pits. Sean Johnson's in the pits. Steve Loving was in it. So Mark Royce gets away. So Justin Wilson, Chris Lucky is destroyed. So I don't know if he was involved in that first accident, but still running 5th. So maybe he's just going to bet that maybe there's another caution. Right, so Tom Wendt. Tom Wendt is one of those guys who, not the most proficient, let's say, road racer, but he is. He's made a lot of progress. He was running really, really well at Road Atlanta. He's running close to the top 10, mixing it up with Johnny Rapp and guys like Dan Ott, Evan Hubchak. So he was running really well. It's good to see him up front here. Jay Bass, of course, won the season finale last season at Daytona. Kind of a similar type deal. He was pushed, I believe, home by Evan Hubchak. I think Sam Stoner was third in that race. Robert Brofst is one of our plate racers. So if you don't see him up front that often, it's because he's only here for the plates, along with Michael Gudger. It's good to see him up front. He does have a lot of skill at these plate tracks. I don't think we need to say much more about Jacob Bradley. Everyone knows his skill. Let's go back and look through some of these paint schemes. We can get another look. Which, yeah, there we go. Jacob Bradley. There's the Seether livery, although missing the hood. Missing the front bumper, excuse me. Yep, there's Danny and the Juniors. Mark Royce's Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden represent. So Mark finds himself in 11th, so he's still not that far off. Smith might just find a way to win here. Although if you're talking about wins, no one wants to win more than Steve Loving. He's going to do everything he can to get up. He's currently in 14th. Jack's Spirit Box. Laura Wiseman's Lincoln Park and Dan Ott's Electric Callboy. I think Dan's might be my favorite of the bands. Although Mark's does look really good. Mark actually showed that to us a number of months ago. He had this done for a while. And we're going to give Mr. Sean Johnson some time here. He's parked in the pits. I don't know if he's going to come back out. He's waiting for some repairs. Does not look like he's in the car, so might not see him till the feature. All right, so let's head back up front. Tom Wendt's going to have a green-white checker. So the way the green-white checker works is you get one shot at it. If there's a caution with 2 to go, the race is over and the field is frozen. If the caution comes out after the white flag, they all race back to the line anyway. So the race is official at that point. Whoever crosses the finish line is the winner. So if I was Tom Wendt, Tom Wendt's probably hoping for an immediate caution, and that means a sprint race victory for him. Interested to see what Robert Brobst and him can do. Next 2 laps here. And again, this is our sprint race. Our main event's coming up where we'll invert the top 10. Try it again for 32 laps. So here we go. All eyes on Mr. Tom Wen at 28. Seeing if he can pick up.
Green, green, green.
Good finish here at Talladega. Green flag is out. 2 to go. Robert Brobst there. Chris Lucky's going to be dead meat here in about 15 seconds. Because he doesn't have the arrow. So if I were Johnny Rapp, I would find a alternative route. Robert Brobst goes for the lead. He goes to the outside of Tom Wen. Chris Lucky somehow still... Oh, Jacob Bradley on the wall. Johnny Rapp has pushed Chris Lucky to the front. Oh, we got Phil Keck there on the inside. Somehow makes it stick. Chris Lucky magically is still leading this race. We got Jay Bass pushing Johnny Rapp to the front. Jacob Bradley's got Justin Wilson on the outside. We know they're good. They won the race at Atlanta earlier this season. Johnny Rapp is in the lead, and he's got Jay Bass right behind him. White flag is out. So, oh, there was a crash. So that's Derek Fike. So now it's down to about 10. We got a bunch of people wrecking in the back. We're going to see who can come to the line here. It's Mark Royce in the middle on the Iron Maiden, number 44. He's pushed his way to the front. So you got Johnny Rapp, Jacob Bradley, and Mark Royce. We're going to see which lane comes to the front. Coming to the line. It's looking good for that bottom lane. They don't have any help, though. Chris Lucky does not have the power. Robert Brobst, Mark Royce, here they go. Oh, Mark Royce. Mark Royce looks to have the best run. Jacob Bradley's on the outside. I think it's going to be Bradley. Jacob Bradley wins it. Jacob Bradley, Mark Royce is second. Justin Wilson third. Robert Brobst fourth. Johnny Rapp fifth. I thought Mark was going to have that one. Great finish there. They all kept it together coming to the line. Man, what a finish. Oh, I really thought Mark was going to have it there. But Jacob Bradley, that Jacob Bradley-Justin Wilson combination, and then they got a shove at the end from Dan Ott there. That was enough to propel them. Yeah, Johnny Rapp just didn't have the help on the bottom because of Chris Lucky's aero damage. Yeah, good haul for points for Chris Lucky, so he's looking good for his championship. Ah, man, what a finish. All right, so that means that Jacob Bradley will start 10th, and Tyler Markle is going to be on the pole. Let's take a look at our race results here. Can I go live? Not yet. All right, so let's take a look at our race results. There we go. We'll move on up to the top here. Yeah, so Jacob Bradley, Mark Royce. We had the top 11 cars. It's Tom Wendt, man. Tom Wendt, who took the green flag with 2 to go, ends up in 11th. Sam Stoner 12th. Go down Evan Hubchak, Sean Johnson. They ended up in the pits. So hopefully we'll see them in the feature. I was going to check on Steve Loving. Where did Steve Loving end up 7th? Okay. So Tyler Markle in his first race with us will find himself starting from the pole for the feature race. So that's exciting. I don't think anyone has hit the track. Not yet. So we have about a minute and a half left. Let's see if we can grab a interview. Sorry, I should have grabbed someone for the interview. Let's see who we got. We're going to grab Danny Hubchak here real quick. Hey, Danny, it's Dustin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you having fun out there?
Yeah.
Did you tell me about the accident on the in the sprint race? So it looked like you just got a little too close to the 64 and got a little loose.
Yeah, I think.
So did you learn some stuff kind of throughout the race? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of what the car is going to do than you did at the beginning of the race?
Yeah.
All right, hey man, we're all rooting for you. I hope you have a great race, and we'll see you at the end. All right.
Okay.
Hey, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, or is mom or dad watching?
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
See if I can move to. There we go. Let's see here. We got Mr. Jacob Bradley. Mr.
iRacing is the most realistic simulator.
Hi, Mr. Jacob Bradley. It's Dustin up in the booth.
Hi.
How you doing, man? Looks like another win for you. Tell us about your sprint race.
I didn't think I was gonna win. I got trapped on that bottom, and I kind of got passed by everybody. Caution came out pretty fortunate. I had Justin behind me. I knew Justin was gonna push me, and we made it happen there. It was only a 6/1000th of a second. It was pretty close.
Yeah, no,
but definitely fun.
I was glad that everyone made it to the line. That's always good to see.
Of course.
Any strategy for the feature? Obviously, you're gonna dive to the apron and let the chaos occur until about 10 to go.
Yeah, apron 5 wide. It's time to go.
Okay. Anyone shout outs you want to give before I let you go?
Yeah, what shout out you doing the broadcast? All league sponsors, and my dad's watching it. Hopefully, we can get another win in this feature.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in a bit, sir. That was Jacob Bradley, ladies and gentlemen. The unstoppable. I don't know if there's anyone I want to grab real quick. Let's see. Let's talk to Mr. Jay Bast. Jay Bast did pretty good there. Or did we talk? I think we talked to him at Road Atlanta. Who can I grab? Let's grab Tom Went real quick. Hey Tom, it's Dustin up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, we were rooting for you coming to the green flag with 2 to go. Just didn't work out, I guess, at the end.
Yeah, I was trying to hold it to the bottom, and then Probst got a hell of a run. And once he went wide, I tried to drift up a little bit, and by then I opened up the bottom lane. I didn't want to just slam it back down.
Well, hey man, you gotta take the positives away. You're running really good. You found yourself up front. I mean, you had the best. You were in the best possible position, right, with 2 to go. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So is there enough that you learned maybe in the sprint that you can translate to the feature?
Yeah. So I've learned the outside. If you get a run and can get somebody with you, going 3 wide works.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's how I got to the front. Is, I found a hole, cut it all the way to the outside, and used the draft. And you get somebody to run with you. Top of the track's gonna get you to the front.
All right. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Yeah, I'll shout out to Frito Sports and Chuck, who's out here tonight, and Jay Bass. That's who I'm working with tonight.
All right. Hey man, good luck in the feature. We'll be rooting for you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Tom Went. We'll have to grab Tyler Markle here in a little bit. If we get another caution, we'll talk to him. But yeah, here we go. We're getting ready to do our feature. So we got Chris Lucky there on the outside. Jay Bass, Steve Loving, Dan Ott. All the familiar names from the sprint. Yeah, we're watching that. We're going to be watching that number 7, seeing what he can do. I have faith. I have faith in you, Mr. Danny Hubchak, and then Benson. We want to see him up front, so we're gonna see some guys moving around. I have no doubt. I think the guys who are thinking about the long game are maybe going to take a little easy, and that'll give some other guys a chance to shine. So let's see as we come down to the green flag. 32 laps, Talladega, feature
Green
race,
flag,
final
green
race of the
flag.
season of the Road and Plate Series. Chris Lucky gets a big shove from Steve Loving as they come across the finish line. Watching that blue 45 in the back. hopefully he does not lose the draft. Chris Lucky and Steve Loving found their way to the front. I'm surprised that Steve is, maybe I think if Steve is in the top 4 or 5, he'll probably stay there, but I think if he gets mired back at all, probably bail. But Jacob Bradley, Justin Wilson, no fear. They are pushing their way to the front early here. We got Johnny Rapp, Justin Wilson, and Jacob Bradley. They're all Payday Racing teammates, and Robert Brooks. And they have pulled out a huge gap over the rest of the field. Payday guys flexing their muscle early. So we're going to watch Sam Stoner, Steve Loving there. They're 2 by 2 behind that front 4. We'll see if that outside line there can make a run. So Sam Stoner, who was caught up in a number of the accidents in the sprint race, he's looking for some luck. He's a fast driver. He was on the podium at Daytona last season. He was third in the sprint race at Daytona that we did a couple of weeks ago. So we know he's quick. And, he's going to be a factor there at the end. All right, so let's move back here. We're going to check out Mr. Tom Wendt there. So he's kind of hanging out. I think everyone maybe just taking it a little easy. It's a long race. They are going to have to pit. So if there is no caution, they will have to pit. I reckon they'll probably pit. Well, here's what they're going to do. They're going to wait as long as they can until the fuel runs out. So I don't know when the fuel is going to run out here. But as soon as we see those guys hit the pits, default camera angles in this track are not very good. I should have purchased a track pack, or a camera pack before the race, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize for that. Watch Johnny Rapp, Justin Wilson, Jacob Bradley, and we finally got a run there on the outside, and it looks like it's it's Steve Loving. Here comes Steve Loving, new kids on the block truck. He's got a rear view mirror full of Sam Stoner. Sam and Steve making their way to the front. We got Devin Jack, Nick Seraph, and Jay Bast. So we're 2 by 2 now, all the way back. Macro view of this pack here as they head to turn 3. Steve Loving goes down and he leaves Sam on the high side. Whoa! Little bobble there from the 52. That's going to leave Sam Stoner and Devin Jack up for a run. And Nick Seraph there on the 67 looking for a way past. Sam Stoner there's got the run. He's looks like he'll probably take the lead here coming out of turn 2, assuming they can get that run. Johnny and Steve are no strangers to plate racing. They know what they have to do to keep these trucks hooked up and moving quickly. Wow, Steve got a heck of a shove from 58 there. Johnny Rapp, Sam Stoner. Whoa, another bobble there. Johnny comes back down to cut Steve Loving off. Steve trying to pick up the side drafts from Sam Stoner. Dancing around there. Take a look at the bird's eye view here. Chris Lucky's shifted back, so he started, I think, second in this race. Tom Wendt working his way up to the middle. We're trying to get between Chris Winslow and... Whoa! Things are getting dicey. Dan Ott wisely backs out. Oh, Steve Loving bails. He says, I've had enough. Steve's got a sixth sense for crashes. He always seems to pull out just at the right time. So we got a line on the outside here of Sam Stoner, Devin Jack, Nick Seraph. These Payday guys, they're relentless. They were 1-2 in the sprint, and already 6 laps in, they're in front in the feature. So Jay Bass hooking up again with Johnny Rapp. They were drafting partners in the sprint race. Let's see if they can make their way forward. Justin Wilson looking good in that G8 for the moment. So we'll see if maybe he's further back. We're going to have Danny Hubchak back there doing a fantastic job. Mom and Dad got to be proud. Keeping it on the track. He just needs a slot in line there. There we go. I think if he can stay in line, then those that whole group of cars is going to make some progress in the field. So it's interesting that Steve Loving's so far back. Steve kind of knows exactly where he needs to hang to not lose the draft, but it is a risk. So let's move up a little bit here. We got Aaron Smith. He was caught up in one of those accents here, and here we go. We're 3 wide, pretty much all the way back already. 25 laps to go. Whoa, there we go. We got there's Tom getting into the. Oh, we got another crash. Nick Seraph. Oh, he gets into Danny. I don't know how that's not a caution. They're still running okay. Danny's got some damage. Behind him is Vincent Weaver. Laura Wiseman must have got caught up in that. Tyler Markle. He's got drafting help from Steve Loving. So let's see if we can go back to that incident. I think it was involving the 7. Or sorry, it was the 28. It was Tom Went. Where's Tom? There we go. Everyone's kind of checking up already. Yeah, there we go. So Tom gets into the 65. The 65 hits the wall. Looks like Sam is got some damage, so he is all the way back. I believe he has a lap down. Sam did pit. Sam pit, and everyone else is still out. So hopefully he'll get the lucky dog. Look at this pack of cars, and you have to think that a caution is brewing. Field pretty stretched out now after looks like about P15. So you got the top 15 cars in the breakaway, but the other 10 after that hanging back. So okay, so maybe Sam still is in the lead lap. Okay. But what Sam wants right now is a caution. Tom Went making a muscle move there on the outside. He's got Aaron Smith behind him. We'll see what they can do. Payday Racing continues to dominate up front. Justin Wilson, Johnny Rapp, Jacob Bradley. Tom Went all over the place. Keep that 28 in a straight line. Go on board with Michael Gudger here. This is what you see in these plate races. The cars are just, I mean, you're basically flat, no braking required. But if you get a run on somebody, you kind of have to either brake or check up to avoid them. You kind of hear what Michael Gudger there is doing. So he's probably trying to find a way past Tom Went right now, but there is none. You can see there is a third lineup. Michael wisely backs off a little bit. Oh, contact there between the 6 and the 28. Robert Probst there all alone. Guthrie does not go it, then he leaves him to hang on the outside. I think Guthrie's probably going to try and get around the 28 on the outside here. But now Robert Probst has help from Aaron Smith. So Mark Royce, who finished good in the sprint race, has found himself up here at the payday guys. I guess everyone's probably just hanging out, waiting for the pit stop, or waiting for a caution. So we can go look at some that Iron Maiden paint scheme looks pretty good. Oh, who are they coming up on? I think that's Sam Stoner. Yeah, that's exactly who it is. Sam wisely stays out of the way. Lets the field by, and he will have the lucky dog if there is a caution flag. So he's the first car that is one lap down. Chris Winslow in the 45 ran pretty good. Weezer car. Dan Ott keeping him company. Let's check on some of the guys who are further back. So Aaron Smith is hanging out. He's got Devin Jack in front of him. They probably want nothing to do with the pack up front, or they're just positioning themselves for the pit stop. And then about 11 seconds back, you have this group of 4. You got Tyler Markle, Benson Weaver, Evan Hoopjack, Laura Wiseman, Steve Loving, who's all the way back here as well. So Steve is probably praying for a caution right now. And then Phil Keck's kind of in no man's land. He's 17 seconds behind that pack in front, and 8 seconds ahead of Derek Fike and Sean Johnson and Nick Serra. They're all still on the lead lap, so these guys are just hoping and praying for a caution. See what these guys up front can do. Everyone's moved to single file. Most part. Oh, Chris Winslow getting a little sideways. So Justin Wilson, Jacob Bradley continue to run up front. Johnny Rapp maybe trying to find a way past Mark Royce so he can get up with his payday guys. I mean, I think they're going to be fine for the feature. So we're 60 laps in. I'm trying to remember, I think from Daytona the fuel was about 23 laps or so. So I think you're going to start to see pit stops maybe around lap 21, 22. I think what's going to happen is as soon as Justin and Jacob die for the pits, then everyone else is going to follow. So I don't know if they will purposely strung out so that they can all just hit the pits easy. This is obviously very, very different, much more calm than it was earlier. I think the real estate here is on the bottom. Pit stop. So let's see if they are coming up on a group of cars here. This looks like this is the Derek Fike, Sean Johnson, Nick Serra group. bring up a track map here. Track map, here we go. There's everybody. So there's the lead pack. They're coming up on the 67, the 91, and Phil Keck, and then the Tyler Markle, Benson Weaver group is they're coming out of turn 4. That's what I was talking about. You don't want to lose the draft. So once you lose the draft, you are. Well, let's see what these guys are doing. Their last lap was a 53.5. Yeah, so they're running about a second slower than the leading pack. That's just an effect of the draft. Oh, so okay, that was Nick Seraph. They all went around. Oh, here they come. They're all coming in. They're all coming in. Here we go. Justin Wilson. Chris Lucky stays out. Is he gonna? He stays out. Wow. Okay, so they're all in. Jacob Bradley, Justin Wilson. Get a better view of this. Mark Royce. Everyone comes in. So Chris Lucky stayed out. Great. Jade Grajewski stayed out. So they're going to hope for a caution. And then let's see if the Steve Loving pack came in. They did come in as well. Mark Royce is away, and it looks like he maybe took 4 tires. He is way far behind the rest of this pack here. So 13 laps to go. We have not had a caution yet, which is kind of mind-boggling. So Jacob Bradley did get out first of this group. So you have Johnny Rapp, Dan Ott got out, and then Aaron Smith. And then further back you have Michael Gudger, and Jay Bast, and then Mark Royce. Well, Mark Royce came in, so he must have taken tires, or 2 tires or something, because he's way back. Laura Wiseman did in the pits. Let's see where she is. She's in the pit lane, getting her fuel. And Chris Lucky, Dave Grajewski, they're both still hanging out there. They have a roughly 35 second gap. There, that's Sam Stoner. So Sam Stoner stayed out. So Sam Stoner, yeah, I'm all turned around here, folks. Sorry about that. Sam Stoner did stay out because he had pitted earlier. So I wonder if that was something where maybe he took on enough fuel during his earlier pit stop. He is 8 laps into his run. So he has enough fuel to get to the end. We'll have to see. Yeah, so Chris Lucky, yeah, just kind of hanging out on his own with Jacob Bradley. Sorry, with Sam Stoner. Chris Lucky is a fuel strategy expert. He did use a no-stop strategy to win at Mosport. Basically, everyone else had to pit. Him and his brother Richard did not pit, and they finished 1-2. Yeah, these guys got a 30-second lead over the field, but they haven't lapped them. So, you know, obviously Chris is going to have to. So he has not pitted. So he's 22 laps in. He's going to have to pit probably this lap or next lap. Let's see if he comes in. He's still out. Just going to run the tank dry. We'll head back to the Jacob Bradley. So Jacob Bradley's now got a 6-car breakaway. Starting with him and then going back to Jay Bast. Then there's another 3 seconds back to Mark Royce. So Mark Royce, Devin Jack, they're all trying to Trying to make some progress in this top group, but I don't think unless there's a caution that they're going to touch it. Steve Loving hanging out there on his own. Yeah, a lot of guys fell a lap down. So there we go. We'll have to see how this works out. Oh, here Chris dives to the pits. So he's in. It's going to leave Jacob Bradley out front. Whoa, he slides out of the pit lane. I don't know if that's going to be a penalty. Yeah, the pack behind is not making any progress, so it looks like a guaranteed top 6 finish for these guys. Got Robert Brooks there. I think he's a lap down. He's a lap down. Robert Brooks is a lap down. Phil Keck is a lap down. John Johnson, Nick Serra. All those guys were 1 lap down. So Jacob Bradley, and I tell you who he does not have help from is Justin Wilson. I'm trying to figure out what happened to Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson was 19, so he might have gotten a speeding penalty maybe on pit road. That's my guess. But he is out of contention for the run. But Jacob does have his longtime friend and confidant Johnny Rapp right behind him, but I know Johnny wants this win. Johnny already has won a race this year, so Johnny Rapp has won, Dan Ott has won, Aaron Smith has won, Mike Gudger has won. Jay Bass, of course, won last year, so Jacob Bradley really is the only one of this top 6 who has not won a race yet at Broken Plate, so I think this would be fitting if he can pull it off. He should, not that he deserved to win last week, he ran a great race and finished 2nd right behind Aaron Smith. He made a ridiculous tire strategy or fuel strategy where he didn't take tires at all. So I was really surprised that he made that last. He finished a fine 2nd. And of course, he just won the sprint race here, so maybe it's going to be 2 in a row here for Mr. Bradley. He's got a whole bunch of angry cars. Tucked in behind him. So we come down to 6 to go. Let's see if there's any other packs that might cause a caution. Mark Royce, Devin Jack, Jake Kajewski are back here. We got Chuck Labano following Nick Seraph and Sean Johnson. You got Steve Loving and Tyler Markle. I feel like these end of season races always, just a lot of the time they go caution free. Because everyone's used to each other by that point. Everyone's just kind of confident and relaxed and not as crazy. Whereas at the beginning of the season, there's always a bunch of cautions. I guess if a caution is going to happen, it's going to be with this pack up front here. Aaron Smith just said, I've had enough running in the back. I'm going to try and push my way to the front. Robert Brobst in the 5. Got help from Chris Lucky, but those guys are both way down the order. They will not be a factor for this victory. There's Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson getting lapped by his Payday Racing teammate Jacob Bradley. See what happened with that. It's looking good for this top 6. We're waiting to see if Jay Bass is going to make a move. Jay Bass is hanging out back there behind Michael Gudger. He needs some help. One of these guys has got to start making moves there. Justin Wilson, they're getting racing back. Now we start to get 2 by 2. We got 5 laps to go. See Chris Lucky power past Jacob Bradley. Again, those are lap cars. They are not in contention for this race victory. It is between the 50, the 52, and the 29 right now. And Aaron Smith making a heck of a run there on the outside. He's got Justin Wilson there. believe they are both. Aaron Smith is in the he is in the Payday Racing booth, so he is affiliated there. He is making a run. He's got help from the 58. Now we got the 77 pushing the 5. Michael Gudger. Oh no, he gets a turn into Jacob Bradley. We got a caution. Oh no, or does they stay off the track? They both stay off the track. Oh no. Jacob Bradley, I think, pretty intentionally there, he's going to cause a caution. Or he's trying, and no caution comes out. Wow. He tried to throw the caution, it didn't happen. So Aaron Smith there, Michael Gudger. Oh no. So now we're down to 5. Michael Gudger there making a move on the outside. So I talked about Jay Bass. Jay Bass now has some daylight. He can see first place. So he now makes a move up through the middle, but he's going to need help. He's got help from Johnny Rapp, and we're coming down to the line. 2 to go. I think this race is going to be green the whole way. Jay Bass, Johnny Rapp going through the middle. And here comes Dan Ott to help him out. Oh my goodness. Nail-biting finish here at Talladega. We got the top 5 in a pack, and they're closing up in this big gaggle of cars. I foresee that this could be an accident. Oh, do they all make it? They all yeah, they're doing okay so far. That bottom lane staying to the bottom. So Aaron Smith, he's got help from the 58. Jay Bass, there he goes. Jay Bass going to the outside. But he needs some help. He needs help. He's got Michael Gudger there. Yeah, Aaron Smith throws another block. Here we go. White flag. 1 to go here at Talladega. Aaron Smith in the lead. Jay Bass in second. Jay Bass needs some help, but Dan Ott now is coming in the middle. Things are looking good for Aaron Smith. He has no challengers right now. He's got a lap car who's a teammate pushing behind him. Jay Bass, Dan Ott, they are on the attack. Jay Bass is on the outside. He's got Michael Gudger. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to make it. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it. Dan Ott's trying to make a move in the middle, but he has no drafting help. I think things are looking good for Aaron Smith here for 2 in a row. Yeah, everyone else is bottled up behind. Aaron Smith, oh, we got trouble there. Michael Gudger gets turned. Johnny Rapp gets turned. So Aaron Smith is going to win at Talladega. Jay Bass second, Dan Ott third, Michael Gudger fourth. We got a heck of a shot there from the 58. Just smashed into the wall, but Aaron Smith grabs second straight win. In a caution-free race at Talladega. I'm sure some people are the fans of it. The green flag racing. I don't like to see 35 seconds between the top 10. But it is what it is. Everyone kept their noses clean. So Aaron Smith wins, Jay Bass second, Dan Ott third. All right, let's see if we can grab some podium interviews. Aaron Smith, 2 in a row. He has made a name for himself, and if we see him next season, he will be hard to beat. He has won. He won on road and he won on plate. So he has done it. 700 the winner tonight. All right, let's move to our interviews. All right. Grab some people in the interview waiting room. Jay Bast. Move to waiting room. Let's see here. And I don't know where Dan Ott is. All right, we'll get him in just a second here. Sorry, hey Aaron, it's Dustin up in the booth. You got me?
I've got you.
Hey, congratulations, 2 in a row. It looked like things were going to be pretty dicey there, and then you found a friend in the form of a lapped teammate, Justin Wilson, and it looked like he was your winning strategy here tonight.
Yeah, we had a lot of lap trucks there in the last few laps that certainly played into my favor. But yeah, it was a good race through and through. I didn't think I'd have a shot there at the end. I had a little bit of damage from that wreck that didn't call out a caution, but I guess I was able to bring it home.
Yeah, so I guess you had spent a lot of the race kind of hanging out, not exactly the front. You were kind of letting the payday guys, your other payday guys, run the show. And then it seemed like after there was an accident, yeah, there wasn't a caution in the middle of the race, and then there was kind of a 6-7 car breakaway, and then after that, and then the pit stops, and that kind of left you out front.
Yeah, those pit stops certainly helped. I had to chuck it down the inside because I couldn't pass anybody otherwise. I don't know if it was the damage or just the air model in these trucks, but every time I tried to pass on the outside, I just hit a wall of air and get stuck in traffic, and I almost lost the draft a few times. So threw it down the inside going into the pits, passed a few guys, and I was able to come out behind my own, so I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, that's really good forethought to kind of recognize what the truck can and can't do with damage and use it to your advantage. Well, hey man, congratulations! You ran a great race. I know in the sprint you were caught up in a couple of incidents, but that's just kind of how these things go. And usually it's a dice roll, right? Like if you either wreck or you find yourself up front. Usually there's not a middle ground. But hey man, it's been great having you for these last 2 races. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all of you at Road and Plate for having me. I don't know if I'll be back for next season, but my other league got canceled, so I'll have some extra free time on my Thursday nights, so maybe I'll stop by for a few of those. And I'd like to thank all the folks for watching, and I'm looking forward to getting back at it whenever I show up next.
Okay, man. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the victory.
All right, thank you.
Your winner, Aaron Smith, ladies and gentlemen. And now we have our second place man, Jay Bast. This is Dustin up in the booth. You got me?
Howdy, Dustin. How'd you enjoy that from the booth there? That must have been a show.
That was yeah. I mean, I know I'm not as much of a purist in liking the green flag racing where things are so stretched out. I mean,
come on, Dustin. You're a nerd. Green flag pit stops are good.
No, I know. Well, the green flag pit stops were fine, but we had a 4-car breakaway, and everyone from the top 10. Outside the top 10 was basically like 40 seconds away. So, but yeah, it's great for you. I mean, you found yourself in a good spot. I was waiting for you to make the move, and then it looked like with about 2 to go, you started making some moves, and then, Justin unfortunately had a couple of lap cars between you and him, and it just seemed impossible for you to make a run.
Yeah, I had Gudger in my ear. Shout out to the 64. We were trying to work together. We were on the tail of that pack that came out of the pits together. And as we were, coming up on the lapped car packs, when those two converge, it gets a little hairy, to say the least. But yeah, at the end, everybody kind of spread out, went 3-4 wide. Dan and Gudger are both my teammates for the Nürburgring 24 this weekend, so I was trying to play nice with both of them, but they really made me choose on white flag, and I went with Gudger on the outside, and it got me second. So, but shout out to Dan for the P3 and Gudger for P4. So Team Finish Line Racing repping pretty good here at the Road and Plate finale.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of that was because I feel like the pack was a little. I mean, it was 15 cars when you entered the pits, and then when you guys got out, it was only about 7 cars. So, I guess you guys probably did fuel only. Is that correct?
Fuel only. I took like 5 gallons. A couple of folks missed their pit box, had to back up, and that kind of splintered the group even more. So I kind of wish that didn't happen and we stayed together a little more, but what can you do? I'm happy with that P2. Shout out to Aaron for the win as well. At the end, I didn't even know who I was racing, who was on my lap and not. So, good on him for making it through all that traffic.
Yeah. Well, hey man, great job. Another, it seems to be a theme for you. You come on strong at the end. You obviously won the last race of the last season, and then you almost won this one. And, you had another second, earlier this season, so you certainly you're always
Yeah,
a
I got to
contender.
start my momentum run a little earlier.
Well, hey man, congratulations. It was another great season. I think we'll have a couple weeks off, and then we'll be right back at it. We'll be back at Daytona, I think, to start next season.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
If I may take this moment
Yeah,
to
please.
thank Homebrew Auto and ittybitbetter.com and the Frito Sport guys, everybody, Ed and Chuck and Tom for putting that team together. And shout out Sam Stoner for the awesome Streetlight Manifesto paint. Really appreciate that. It looks great tonight. And yeah, thanks to you, Dustin, for putting on this awesome show. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks for another season with a new title sponsor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Mr. Hoopchak's Palm Rat Golf. We have to get used to saying that and giving them a shout out. We'll have to make sure that Rain reminds everyone in the interviews to thank them.
Yes, we do. So thanks to Evan, thanks to Palm Rat Golf, and yeah, thanks to you for putting on the broadcast and putting on the league.
Yep. All right, man. Hey, congratulations. Another P2. You earned it. Enjoy this one, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thanks, bud.
All right. And last but not least, our P3 finisher, Mr. Dan Ott. Do you got is Dustin up in the booth? You copy?
Gotcha.
Well, hey, man, you certainly, I don't know, it was a tie between you and Mark for the best paint scheme tonight. We did like the electric callboy. Tell us about your race. Obviously, you were kind of in contention the whole time. I guess maybe you were hoping at the end there someone would have gone with you to give you some help because you were kind of the lone wolf in the middle. But I guess P3, you got to be satisfied.
Yeah, I'm just happy to finish one of these super speedway races. I don't know if I've done it yet this season, so.
I could have sworn that you had a podium at one of these things, and before your oh no, it was Atlanta last season. You finished,
yeah,
because that was the one
season.
where everyone crashed and you finished second there. Yeah, and then you obviously had your win at Long Beach. But yeah, no, I mean you ran strong up front all race. You had Mark there, I think, for a lot of it. Mark obviously ran into maybe some, or no, he had a issue on pit road. Did he take 4 tires or did he take 2 tires? Because he came out about 5 seconds back.
I think he just took a little bit more fuel than I did.
Oh, okay.
Because he led for a bit, so he burned more fuel.
Okay. Was anything different about this race? I know that. So Evan Hoopchak's son was in the 7. So Danny, we have to give a shout out to him for doing a great job holding down the fort for him. But yeah,
he did great. I didn't even know that was.
Yeah, you were racing a 10-year-old in the 7 truck.
Never would have known that.
And then we had a couple of new faces. We had the 42 who was new, the 6 who hadn't raced with us before. But yeah, overall, I guess pretty good show. Would you give people a thumbs up for the racing?
Yeah, it was probably the best one yet. I was very confused at the end with all the lap cars. I didn't know who I was racing. The names were changing on the relatives so fast. I had no clue.
Yeah. Well, hey. Go ahead.
I'm not saying they can't race or anything, but it was definitely confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the super speedways, it's always tough because it's a balance between trying to stay out of the way, but then also before 2 to go, all those guys are thinking, I have to stay in the lead lap because if something happens, I'm right back in it. So I get that, and yeah, it was surprising. There were a couple of incidents that I thought were going to be caution flags and that weren't. But that's just sometimes the way it goes. I honestly, for the plates, I kind of like the bunched up finishes where everyone, we do a green white checker, but this is different. It's one of those things that Chris Lucky was out there trying to run the tank dry, I think, and seeing if he could make that stretch. It's always interesting to see with the green flags, all the different strategies and stuff. But hey, man, great season. Like obviously, we talked about it earlier at Long Beach, and then. I can't remember if you were on the podium again, but obviously this is a very different season for you than the last one. You've been competitive in every race, including the plates, and we're going to continue using the same setup for next season. So are you confident for the races coming up?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Bathurst. I love that.
You guys, man, I'm gonna set that one out. I don't want anything to do with Bathurst.
It's so fun. There's nothing better than nailing that hill.
Yeah,
just getting it perfect. It's the best.
All right. Well, before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you want to give before we close out the season here?
Thanks, teammate Mark Rice. We didn't get a whole lot of chance to work together today, but we both got a top 5 out of it, so pretty good.
Alrighty. Okay, man. Well, thanks for everything this season, and we can't wait to see you for the first race of season 3.
Yep.
All right, man.
See you
Have a
then.
good night.
You too.
All right. Let's see if there's anyone else we want to talk to. Maybe we can pull in Johnny Rapp. Pull in Johnny Rapp here real quick to finish this off. Hey, Johnny, it's Dustin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah. I was just about to walk away, but yeah, I got you.
Tell us about your race, man. You finished a solid, looks like P5. I'm sure, going into the last lap, you were probably hoping for a little bit better. Was there anything more that you could have done? Coulda, woulda, shoulda?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We caught the that group of lap cars, and I kind of whiffed it there, right? I was hoping Jay would have came up a little earlier, and I was just going to stick with him. But man, he kept down there. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go high, see
Yeah.
what happens. It did not work, but yeah. After that, I think it was him and Gudger running up high, and they just like I get to pushing them, and then they kind of get separated a little bit. We couldn't stay together enough to kind of catch up to Aaron and Justin and them. But yeah. So, and also I don't know, right? So I guess I spun through the pits, so it has me scored as 12th. And man, I'll tell you, we were all talking about that, and Johnny about brought the calculator out, started going through the cars. Like, wait a minute, there's only this many cars on the lead lap in front of me. But yeah. So I was a little confused by that, but either way, man, that's one of the most fun I've had at a restrictor plate track. It was the whole race. It was just good. Normally I'm hanging in the back, right? And that time I kind of just stayed up front and I led some laps, got to, race it out with my teammates and
Yeah,
all
I was
these other
saying,
guys. It
Payday.
was a good show.
80% of the race was me talking about how unstoppable Payday Racing was.
Yeah.
It seemed like you guys were just,
especially Justin and Jacob, man, they got it down. And I mean, I guess we had Aaron tonight too, right? But yeah, I was just kind of there, trying to follow their lead, and it's a good group of guys to follow, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, you did a great job. I'm glad you got your win this season. That I think without that, maybe this would have been a little hollow. But you're basically up front every week, and so it was good to get that box checked and to watch you run up front, like you said, lead laps, and you're always a contender. It's always fun to watch you, and yeah, it's been a great season, and we're looking forward to season 3. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or give thanks to before I let you go? And don't forget to plug your own league.
Well, okay. Well, there's more than one of them, I guess now. But so yeah, obviously my dad watching. I don't know if my sister's watching too, but so shout out to them, and obviously you for putting on this league. It's a really cool deal. It makes me go out and learn some things that I maybe wouldn't have, without this, right? All these different road courses, and I like road courses, but it's cool to experience some different ones and then still be able to scrap it out, on the plate tracks. And obviously the Spark Racing League that runs on Mondays and Wednesdays, and potentially Tuesdays soon too, right? And then the Slingshot Racing League that runs Tuesdays. That's where we got Aaron from, and that's where most Payday guys run most of the time. So shout out to all those guys, and also to Evan for sponsoring the upcoming season. Right, we're really excited about that, and the Palm Rat brand, right? And hopefully we can get him some exposure for that, and we appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. I've already placed my order for my road and plate shirt from Palm Rat Golf. So I'll once I get it, I'll show it off to everybody and see if I can get everyone else on board, get Evan some exposure. But so again, thanks, man. Great season, and can't wait to see you for season 3.
Right on.
All right, and I think that's about just going to close us out. Again, another great performance from Aaron Smith. He has dominated the last 1/5 this season, winning both Road Atlanta and here. And then, of course, it was good to see Jay Best, Dan Ott up on the podium, Michael Gudger, Mark Royce, Devin Jack. Devin Jack finished a good P6. Dave Grajewski in his debut with us finishes 7th. Good haul of points. Chuck Labano, who was 2nd at Daytona. Chris Winslow gets a top 10, and Tom Wentz. So a lot of guys there in the back half of that top 10 who got some much needed points for the series. So on that note, I've Dustin Bali. I've been your host for the evening. We will be back in 3 weeks for the first race of season 3 in the Road and Plate Stock Car Series. That will become the Palm Rat Golf Truck Series, but there'll be more info about that on our Facebook page. But we'll be back on Thursday, June 6th. So have a great night, everybody. For all the up-to-date information on our league, visit facebook.com/roadandplate. And I can't wait to see you all for the next one. Have a great night.